All right, everybody. Hey, this is Frederick Jones, founder and publisher of Saturday AM, and we are live now with another event tied into our March Art Madness tournament. If you guys have been following along, of course, you know Saturday AM is the world's most diverse shonen manga anthology, and our competition that we have, March Art Madness, is kind of like the NCAA March Madness event, except we take diverse, new, interesting artists from around the world, and they compete against each other to create the best fan art possible over the span of a month. And we just kind of whittle ourselves down from 64 artists down to the final one. And that winner will be the grand prize winner, will be the ultimate fan artist of the year, and they will walk away with lots of cool prizes. And the event has become a really big event. It's been one of the more signature things that we've done with Saturday AM. But one of the things that makes the event so special is not just the amazing artists that we have who come from all over the world, from Argentina to India, Australia, and so on, but it's being able to work with amazing companies that recognize and also support our mission to provide more diversity and more fresh ideas into the world of comics and manga. And without question, one of the more exciting companies to pop up on the scene, and one of the companies that we're really honored to be working with for March Art Madness, is a group called Illo Sketchbooks. Now, if you have not heard of Illo Sketchbooks, you maybe have seen Illo Sketchbooks. This is really, really beautiful sketchbook that they've got here, and these guys rock. Now, we're going to be talking to the founder of this company, which is a young man named Anthony Baez, and we're going to have a chance to talk to him and find out all the things that went into creating this and what inspired him and then where he hopes to go with this. So we'll introduce Anthony here in a second, but I want to make sure that we give a couple of shout outs to things that we're doing with Saturday AM. First things first, March Art Madness is happening right now. We're in our third rounds, so to speak, our Sweet 16. So if you are interested in having a chance to help determine which amazing artist will have a chance to win one of our grand prizes, which is an Apple iPad Pro, then go to the website and vote. We'll post links here shortly telling you how to get to the website. But of course, you can get to our website really easily. It's www.saturday-am.com. I'll be having images up here in a minute where you can see the screen and see all the amazing things that have been done to date with March Madness. But this weekend, voting stops tomorrow at 6 p.m. You can go and support the artists of March Art Madness right now. So make sure that you have a chance to do that this weekend. Likewise, Saturday AM, we are the world's most diverse shonen manga anthology. We make an anthology similar to Shonen Jump, except our creators are from all over the world. You may know some of our really popular series like Apple Black. Well, Saturday AM, the digital magazine, continues. The latest issue will come out this weekend. It'll be issue number 83. It features an amazing cover by Raymond Brown featuring Bully Eater. That, if you're a subscriber, you'll get that in your email this weekend. I believe probably sometime tomorrow afternoon and or evening. So again, here's some of the things that are happening right now in the world of Saturday AM. But again, March Madness, huge event. Tons of people coming from around the world. We'll be talking to Anthony Baez, the founder and creator of Illo Sketchbooks, who is the one of our sponsors for the event. So this is Illo Sketchbooks. You can see Anthony right there in the corner. We're going to flip to Anthony and let Anthony have a chance to say a few words before we start interviewing him and asking him a lot of big questions. So Anthony, can you hear us?
I can hear you. How you doing?
Awesome.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great. So
Okay,
folks,
cool,
this is
cool.
Anthony Baez. Anthony, tell everybody where you're from.
I am from Waterford, Michigan. It's close
Waterford,
to
Michigan.
Detroit. So we can say Detroit. A lot of people don't know where
I
Waterford is. So
was getting ready to say, look, I was like, I'm traveling a lot. I'm like, I don't know where Waterford is. Okay. But so look, since this is NCAA, I have to start off asking, were you pulling for Michigan?
I don't really follow the NCAA too much. I'm
What?
more of the NBA. I follow the NBA and
You didn't follow, so who you follow? You got
but
the
but people in my office, they were going for Michigan State and they were real upset that they they lost right away. So
well, look, my alma mater is UNC Chapel Hill. We won the championship last year, the Tar Heels, and our hated rival is Duke University. I mean, we have one of the biggest rivalries in all sports, and Duke is in the Elite Eight this weekend. It kills me, man. It kills me. But I was pulling for Michigan State. I had them on my bracket too, and they got knocked out. I was like, oh. But
yeah,
Michigan is still in there. So Michigan's still in there. But I
nice.
guess y'all don't support Michigan. You ain't a Michigan guy.
I could go either way, support
Oh, okay.
support the people, the local
Yeah,
teams.
exactly. See, that's how hardcore the rivalry is here in North Carolina. Is that I don't give a damn. I'm supporting Duke no matter what. I want Duke to crash and burn. I mean, I'm from Durham. I went to high school near Coach K, but I don't could care less. Duke has to lose. I don't care what the situation is. Duke cannot. We cannot let Duke win a national championship. So
Oh
especially
yeah,
not after losing one.
I know people who are like that. They're like, nah, Michigan State
Yeah,
all the way. Michigan, get out
absolutely.
of here.
So yeah, so that's good to know, man. And look, there's nothing surprising about. I mean, I'm glad to hear you say you like professional sports because I can tell you in the world of comics and manga, since I started Saturday M, I've always been amazed that there are so few people who are actually in the sports. And that's why March Art Madness is so funny to me because I just basically said I want to make art competitive. It is competitive. The world is competitive, so I want to make it
Right,
competitive. And I was amazed how many people took to that. But then if you asked them, oh, okay, were you in the soccer? You in the basketball? You in the football? They're like, oh, no, I don't do sports. I'm
right,
like,
right.
damn.
I actually played
So,
basketball
so,
today. I actually jammed my
oh, did you
finger a
really?
little bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's the weather like in Michigan then?
It's nice today. I mean, not
Oh,
temperature wise, but it looks nice outside. It's about
see, it's
40
raining.
something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, it's about 40 something here too, but it's raining. And it's got a little cold. So I think it's snowing in Virginia, which is this next state over, and then of course in the Northeast, they've got another nor'easter. So so that part is interesting. So okay, so you are from Michigan
Yep.
and you started Illo Sketchbooks. Now, there's several questions there. We're going to get into those, but I want to first of all ask, what is your connection to art? What makes you even want to do something like those sketchbooks? You're an artist yourself?
Yes. So I graduated from College for Creative Studies in 2009. So I actually had my degree, my bachelor's degree in art. And I mean, I still do art. You know, I do
Mm.
graphic design right now for a company who produces for Hefty and Home Logic. So I do like their labels and websites and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, and that's where I kind of learned about the manufacturing
Mm.
from working with that company. So yeah, so I have my own art and illustration and things and
Did you
getting
ever?
into
Did you?
vid.
I mean, no,
Oh, go
that's
ahead.
interesting because graphic design is I talk about this a lot, and it's something that I bring up quite a bit. We've been doing Saturday M now for 4.5 years, about to hit our fifth year. And like I said, I went to UNC Chapel Hill, and I talk a lot about college education. I think sometimes artists fall into this trap of thinking that well, I'm doing something creative, I don't need an education. It's like, no, get an education because to your point, you're an artist, you like to draw, you like to do stuff. Graphic design was paying the bills, and so from that standpoint, I'm curious what you like to draw. What stopped you from actually pursuing comic book artwork?
I actually have a comic book that I created myself, or have
Okay.
one also that I want to create in the future. But time, I guess, time
Right.
just I'm working on so many things, and now with Illo Sketchbook, so that's like my main focus. So
Right.
I draw here and there, I try to draw cards for people when we send them a sketchbook, and so it's my art they're seeing on their
Yeah.
cards when they get an Illo Sketchbook.
That's cool. That's very cool. So
Yeah.
where can people see your artwork, by the way? What are you on Instagram?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. They can find me on Art by Aunt B, or they can go to artbyantb.com to see like my finished art because everything on Instagram is like sketches or anything I did quick on an Illo sketchbook or but
But
yeah,
okay, that's interesting. We'll post that link, and when we do that, when this video cleans up everything and we repost it, we'll post that link because
cool.
obviously this is
Make
live.
sure you guys are easy on my artwork. Thank you. All
Well, tell me,
right.
young people can be brutal nowadays. That's true. But you've kind of got the whole complement. You are a traditional artist. You've enjoyed drawing traditional art. You
Mhm.
trained to do graphic design, and so you're doing graphic design. And then you created your own company as an
Actually, I
art.
trained to be an illustrator, but
Oh,
I
you can be an
landed
illustrator.
into graphic design because in Michigan there aren't too many illustration jobs unless you're freelancing, which I also do. But so you got to freelance to do illustration, but there's like logos, graphic design. You can find jobs, freelance jobs like that anywhere if you're looking for it.
Well, that's
And
what I was getting ready to say.
we
I
can
was
we can
like,
even, we can even go into that because
well,
I was like,
dude, that's not even a Michigan thing. I mean, that's real
yeah,
talk, right?
everywhere.
Like yeah, that's everywhere, right? You graduate and like if you're graduating illustration is a very hard. It's very hard to make a career in illustration. I mean, it's
Hmm.
like it's not a. you know, it's just not, that's not a robust industry in and of itself. It's always something that's a part of a larger art industry, like again,
Right.
graphic design, or you know, logo design and things of the character design. But just illustration in and of itself is not, you know, really an industry that's thriving in any real way, outside
Yeah,
of
as far
comic
as like
books
a
and things like
job,
that.
illustration job, you might see like the people at Cedar Point drawing portraits or something, like they're using illustration. But
Right.
other than that, you don't really see too much illustration work or
Yeah.
books and things and
Well,
illustration.
okay. So there's so much to unpack there. So then let's go into these kind of bit by bit. So let's start with the first thing, which is that you went in for illustration. You like to draw. You want to create comics and so forth. When you what comics inspired you? Like, what are you into? Are you into manga? Are you into American comic books? Like, who are your favorite artists? Like, what walk us through kind of your artistic the
Well,
things that
I
inspire
grew
you
up on
artistically.
Dragon Ball Z, so that's why I had to
Okay.
comment on that Goku picture you had back there because I'm still into Dragon Ball Z. I'm still watching the Dragon Ball Supers and stuff right now. But
Right.
Marvel comic books growing up and stuff. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was big. Sonic the Hedgehog, things like I used to draw Sonic all the time, or like Mario and things. That's what really got me into it when I was young. So, but as far as
So,
anime, I think
uh-huh.
Dragon Ball Z is like the main one I know. And
So are you more? Is your art style? Since I haven't seen you, and we don't have your work here right in front of us, but is your art style more than anime, or are you more? Or do you kind of have a mixture of American slash anime manga?
um, that's a hard question. I don't even know if I would say it's. I like to dabble. So like I don't know. You have to like check out my art. I do realistic stuff and then I do cartoony stuff. So there might be an American mix, I guess.
Do you like so you read, so you've read some Marvel comics? Do you read like Image? Do you read DC? What Marvel comics are you into?
Well, I don't read. I've been really into the movies lately. So,
Yes, yeah, I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
but Spider-Man was probably my favorite comic back in the day.
Spider
That
Man
was my
by
guy.
who? By who? Like, who's a
Um,
good artist? Were you the
you
Todd
know,
McFarlane era? Were you the Eric Larson era? Were you the?
I mean, Todd McFarlane definitely changed the game when he did the
Yes, he
web,
did.
when he changed the web into the crazy like.
Mhm. And the way he would draw Spider-Man, just like the impossible crouching and all that
Yeah,
stuff, you know,
yeah, yeah.
like he changed the game with that. I mean, that was, you know, that was not how Spider-Man was portrayed before that.
Right, right. And his Spawn was awesome too.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. So McFarlane is a big one. Like, you know, who else do you look at? Jim Lee.
Jim Lee. I like Jim Lee stuff, but I never really paid attention too much to the artists like that were doing. I don't know if that's bad, but like
No,
I was so into like the comics that I never even cared to like look at the
no.
cover or who was doing them. Like
No, that's not a bad thing. You know, I talk about this a lot in March Madness and Saturday M as well. I said, you know, I think in my experience, you know, I've seen most young people who get inspired by comics, and this is generational, right? I mean, I'm in my 40s, and you know, this was like it when I was a kid. But I think generationally, you see something you like, and you go down one or two tracks, right? And sometimes it crisscrosses later in life, but you always go down one or two tracks as a kid. When you're into this stuff, you either identify with the artist or you identify with the character, and whoever the artist is how you perceive that character, right? So like there are people right now, to use your point about Dragon Ball, that they love Akira Toriyama, but if I told them, oh, you like Akira Toriyama, they wouldn't know what the hell I was talking about, because all they know is Akira Toriyama as Dragon Ball. You know what I mean? They
right, right,
understand Dragon Ball as depicted by Akira Toriyama. If you drew Dragon Ball in any other style, they wouldn't necessarily get with it, but they really connect with Akira Toriyama in that way. And I think that's just natural. I think that's naturally how young people begin to develop their understanding of things and so forth artistically, is to either identify again with the personality or with the actual character. And then at some point it switches around, but that's kind of how it goes. And so yeah, so definitely Marvel Comics had a big influence, because you know, you definitely referenced quite a bit of those. Dragon Ball, of course, as well. So then when you had a chance, you graduated school, when you had a chance to pursue like creating your own comic, why didn't you? Or you said you did, or you were going to?
I finished well, it was like the first episode or whatever,
Hmm.
but it was 30 pages, so it was a long comic book. It took a very long time to finish just because I was working on it on and off with freelance and things like that. But well, I don't know if I want to get into that, but it took a
Share,
long time.
share.
Well, the reason I did my first comic was because I was like having issues with anxiety. So like I made a hero based on that. Like so his superpower was like his anxiety gave him superpowers and he kind of like hulked out and like
Oh, that's
got
fun.
super strong and stuff.
Yeah,
So I kind of used that as an outlet to like work those demons out or whatever. But
bro, that's fantastic. That's
so
fantastic.
like by the time I finished the comic book, I was kind of like done with the whole anxiety stuff. So it was like I kind of like let it go. And
That's
now I have a
interesting.
yeah, so now I have a new idea, but I need some time to work on it just because I know
No,
how long it takes and stuff.
it takes a while. I mean, every creator's different, but I mean,
If
I
you
find
weren't,
that it takes a
if
while depending on where you're at. You know,
yeah, if you were not gonna like maybe if you start like with a character that's already exists,
established. Right.
then you can like move faster. But if you're trying to develop a whole world and environment and story, it's like
Yeah.
it becomes more time consuming that way.
I'm listening, and it's funny. Right before this, because like I said, it's raining here where I'm at in North Carolina, and I'm a big fan of Marvel movies too. I couldn't agree with you more, man. Those Marvel movies are so damn good, and I'm not a big Marvel fan. I grew up a DC Comics fan. Still love
Uh,
DC Comics, but
I
Marvel
mean,
movies are just excellent. And
Batman, Superman are cool.
yeah, they are. I didn't the new movies. I can't stand the new movies, man. I love Batman, Superman. But man, I was watching Thor Ragnarok again. I bought it on my Apple TV, so I was watching it again. I love that movie. And I was watching it again, and there's that scene with Hulk when they get when he finally becomes Bruce Banner again, and
Yeah.
he's kind of freaking out because he's like, and Hulk's like, he's like, dude, he's like, you're strong. Why are you tripping? He's like, because I have anxiety. And I just thought when you said, I was like, yeah, that's a really good point about being able to work out your demons and be able to create that sort of scenarios. I didn't think of that before, but that's pretty interesting. Um, so yeah, no, I mean, creating comics, yeah, definitely, it's a time consuming sort of thing. So it's not anything you have to rush into. It's a question of when you feel comfortable telling a story, tell the story. And so you had something that you were passionate about that you really connected to. You told that. Did you release it as a comic? Did you do it as a web comic? Like, how did you release it?
I didn't. I just kind of like was happy for myself that I completed it. I didn't want to stop because it took so long and I could have finished it faster if I sat
Mm-hmm.
down like and just cranked on it. But like I did it and I didn't want to stop because I just wanted to finish it. And once I finished it, I was like, okay, cool. I showed some people and they liked it, but I was like, man, this was if I want to, and I might have grounded myself a lot too because it was based on that. I like wanted to keep it really grounded with reality,
Right.
and now I kind of want to like dive into like bigger universes and crazy. Like I want my character to fight a giant if I can at some point write that into the story. So like I grounded mine too much where it was like real people and so I kind of like grew out of it a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I
I,
mean, no, yeah, I mean, it's just
yeah,
a personal story. So you told it, but I guess so. My question though is, so you didn't release it; you did it for
I
yourself.
did it for myself. Yeah.
Okay, okay, and so you've gone through that process, very interesting process for you both personally as well as creatively, because you were able to explore a lot of things. Um, so you then obviously you had your career either somewhere in between there. Your career is going on. You got this thing happening with your job, and was it the career in graphic design, or was it your creating your comic that started giving you the idea about saying, man, I would like a better sketchbook? Like what triggered that? 'Cause I know you said the manufacturing piece gave you more insight, but what actually triggered the idea of creating Illo sketchbooks?
Both.
Hmm.
Both actually, because
Yeah.
I mean, because I've had my own sketchbooks, from other companies that will remain nameless, and
Yeah.
I was never really
You've had
too
you've had
happy.
you've had the normal sketchbooks. You've had the normal
Yeah,
sketchbooks that you could
yeah.
buy. Okay, right.
but I was never like too happy with either the paper quality or the size or anything. I really hated having to crop my images in the 8 by 5 and then just having to like put a
Mhm.
pencil next to it so that I could fill up the square ratio or whatever.
Yep.
So that's where the square ratio idea came from. But but yeah, in working in as a graphic designer for the company who was manufacturing stuff, I educated myself a lot on the process and things. So my want for a better perfect sketchbook for myself, and I couldn't find that anywhere because I tried almost every sketchbook that you can think of,
Hmm.
and I was like, I'm just gonna make my own.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still just listening. I'm thinking, man, that is so awesome that you decided to do that. And so you decided to create your own sketchbook. And when you thought about creating your own sketchbook, what were the primary things that went into your mind? Because and let me be clear about this. I want to make sure I express this correctly. So oftentimes, with Saturday AM, we've done these videos. We've interviewed people all over the world. We've interviewed creators of all sort of magnitude, and and there's always a thing for me of what is that you know process like when you're creating something, because obviously I know what it's like, and it is painful, and I tell people all the time. I get young people who contact us a lot, uh, and it's always ridiculous. It's always ridiculous. I had a young man, we get about maybe 12 or 13 people a day now who contact us from all over the world, and they're trying to like, hey, I want to create comics Saturday and yada yada. And whenever I reply to all of them, because I was always a pet peeve of mine, as I'm sure you probably experienced when you were younger. You want to work for Marvel, so you send your stuff in, and they never write you back. They don't send you anything back. If they do, it's usually like, come back to us in a few years, kid. But I always try to send like a nice note to people. And one of the things that always triggers me is as I try to put these things together is trying to help young people understand the process, the actual process to creativity, because it's lonely. It's a really lonely thing. Even if you got a team of people, it's like at the end of the day, what you've got idea wise is here. It's not there, it's here. And you've got to take that and then put it out there. And it's
That's
stressful.
the
It's
main thing. You
yeah,
gotta do it. Like it can't just stay an idea. You gotta
So,
do
so,
it.
so walk us. So, with that being said, then that's like I said. That's why I want to be very specific about it. Then walk us through. Then how do you take the idea that I want a better sketchbook to being able to actually create one? So, like, do you go to financiers? Do you sketch it out first? It's like it should be square shaped, and the material. Like, how did you determine some of these things? Well, obviously without getting proprietary, but like walk us through like kind of what steps you went through to do this. I take it this is your first company you started.
Correct, correct.
Okay.
So I just knew the kind of paper I wanted. I knew it had to be thick enough to handle if I wanted to draw with pencil, if I wanted to draw with a marker or with a pen, like it needed to handle that. So you do research on paper or
Mm-hmm.
you do research on covers, hard covers, and what I mean, there's so much, but that I found out that I didn't know that I that I had to find out. But the main thing was the paper. Like, as if I create a sketchbook with great paper and a good size, I feel like that was gonna do it. Or it was, if anything, what I thought to myself was, if anything, if I don't sell one of these, I'm gonna at least have a lifetime of sketchbooks. That I'ma love, you know.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's pursue, let's talk on it this way. So you researched, which is crucial. You did the
Well,
research to make sure that it made sense technically what you were trying to do. But since manufacturing was something that you kind of had a side relationship through your job, how did you determine? Okay, well, I need to go to this person to manufacture it, or what were the process steps there?
you were breaking up there a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, wait.
Okay. So first of all, did you raise money
Oh
to
yeah,
go
yeah,
to
yeah.
fund this?
When they say you have to have money to make money, that is true. So like, you have definitely build something up so I can do something. And at first it's scary because I don't have a lot of money. So if like, you know,
Nothing.
that so like I said, I was like, worst thing, I'm gonna have a bunch of sketchbooks for a long time, or like that I can give out to friends and other artists, if anything. But yeah, doing the research, and I think it was easier for me because I do work in a company who does manufacturing and they're producing and stuff, so I like have that background. But I mean, you can do the research on Google. You just
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you did the research, you raised money, and then you were
Yes.
able to, and then you build a prototype first before you went out and ordered all the units,
Yeah,
or
yeah, you always got to have a prototype. You got
Mhm.
to create a prototype to feel it, to see it, to make
Right.
sure that it is what you want it to be.
Okay, but so with that being said, so you get this prototype, and let's say it looks close to finished product, you're like, awesome. So did you take this then and share it with other artists? Like, what feedback were you able to get? I mean,
I
because
did.
obviously, to go from that to then producing a lot of them is a whole different story, right? Because once you, like you said, once you produce all of them, it's you're done. You got them no matter
Right,
what. You got to try to sell them. So,
right.
what did you do to research what to take the idea you had, now that you've exported it physically, to then make sure, okay, let me now make sure that I'm not crazy and that other people like what I've got.
Yeah, so I took the samples around to my friends, to my artist friends, and had them draw on it and make sure that they liked it. I was like, here, try this, try whatever medium you want on it. Let me know what you think. And they liked it. So that was kind of like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go with this.
Did anybody give you
I'm gonna do it.
feedback that made you change things?
Um, I changed some things when I first got a sample. The cover was gonna be thicker than it is right now,
Mm.
like like a lot thicker. But it was
Mhm.
like, and I was like, oh man, that might be a little too thick. So so
I love the material, man. I mean, the material. What is the cover made of?
it's like a PU leather, so like a
Yeah,
fox leather. It's not really, and it's got like a anti-slip material. So
it,
when you're
that's what I was
drawing
gonna
on it,
say. It grips so good. It grips so good. I mean, people, trust me when I tell you this. You want this book, but this thing feels so good in your hand when you've got it. Like it feels. It just complements your hand so much. And yeah. So kind of like a faux leather type material, anti slip. What was the thinking with this?
well, you got to keep your drawings safe, you know. You got to make sure that it's not opening up and or smudging all your artwork you got in here.
I'm about to say, Anthony, this is far from a lock, but I get you. I got you. Uh, so it's funny. I thought at first this was something that you could then use to kind of separate the pages a little bit when you're drawing, but obviously you do have in the back. You actually do have, you do have
The ribbon
the
marker.
ribbon, right? You do have the ribbon marker here, so you did think of that as well. And obviously the ribbon marker, you can move it around as need be. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So are there other iterations of this coming?
Now that you're saying that, this is the first sneak peek.
Whoa.
This is the 10 by 10 Illo sketchbook right here that is in production that we're working on right now. Probably got another couple months before it does anything or goes anywhere, but it's the big guy.
That's awesome, man. That's fantastic. That's awesome. So you hear to hear first,
And
folks.
this
And there's
one
another one.
and
Go
this
ahead.
one's coming later. This is the baby.
So we got this. Okay, interesting. Because I was going to ask you. First of all, I thought I saw you holding a smaller one. I wasn't sure. Because I was going to ask you
Oh,
when you get into so you weren't afraid that I mean, you didn't want to talk about competitors. I have a simple rule. Say every damn thing. I put it all out there. People know. I keep it real. I'm like, look. I think Crunchyroll should be covering us a hell of a lot more than they do. So I put it out there because I'm too old. I've lived too much. I've done too many things to be trying to worry about how people are going to react corporate. But someone said to me the other day, they're like, first you keep it really real. And I said, well, I have this. My feeling is that we live in this world. I keep hearing young people try to tell me how things are different now because of social media. you know, people you have a different relationship with social media, fans to companies. And I'm like, well, then companies should have the same opportunity then to be different, to be able to reflect things that are real. And, and so, I'm like, look, we work our asses off. My company, my guys generate amazing content. And so, yeah, I absolutely, I'll call out companies that I think should be doing X and doing Y, because I'm like, if we have to work hard, everyone else should have to work hard. But with that being said, I want to ask you then, and I guarantee you're probably not like me, so I'm not going to hold it against you. But when I think of this, and you mentioned competitors, I thought to myself, with the little one in particular, I thought, you seem like you're producing a artistic competitor to Moleskine. Was that at all part of your overall thought?
Well, yeah, a little bit. Our sketchbooks are definitely comparable to them.
I would say so.
It's just
sure, yeah.
Me as an artist, I felt like moleskins were very expensive, so I couldn't continue to purchase a bunch of moleskins.
That's what I was getting ready to say. To be like Moleskine and not be as expensive as Moleskine is wow.
Yeah,
very different.
And so people have been giving us feedback and saying that they like our paper even better than them. So,
in my opinion, the Moleskine. First of all, Moleskines are fantastic, folks. So if you get a chance to check out Moleskines, but if you love art, check out the Illo sketchbooks on top of, in addition to that, mainly because they're cheaper and they're built for artists. But that being said, though, one of the things I think that makes your product so comparable is the fact that this it feels so good. I can't tell people. It's like, hey, you have to try it. I can't explain to you how good this feels. And I'll admit, I'm not a big artist, so I have artists who work with me, but I run a company full of artists. But I'm not a huge artist. But this is from one of our artists, and just the ease of being able to pick this up and create content in it.
What are you talking about? That was good.
Oh, this is beautiful. I didn't draw that. No, that's from Morgan Walker, creator of our comic called Soul Beat. But my point is just that it feels so good in your hand just to hold it. And then when you're creating it, it's so effortless to be able to work. It lays out perfectly to be able to draw inside of it. That's the one thing about Moleskine that was always nice, was how good it felt in your hand. But in terms of creating art in it, I can't speak to that because I never did that in the Moleskine. If someone is a fan of Moleskine, but they're like, but I draw, then you need to check out Illo sketchbooks, because it's literally like a Moleskine, just far better for people who actually draw, especially with the design of it. So you've got these new products coming out, and so go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Am I saying, is it Moleskine or is it Moleskine? Because
it's Moleskine.
Is it Moleskine?
Yes. It's an Italian company. They call themselves Moleskine.
I've been saying it wrong this whole time. I thought it was
I wasn't going to correct you, but Lord, no, when you were like, wait, let me say something for you. Are you pronouncing it correctly? I'm like, no.
It is Moleskine then?
It's Moleskine.
Oh, okay. Moleskine. Well, we say moleskin in Michigan.
Yes, you folks support Anthony, because he's keeping it real. Anthony's keeping it. Anthony's like, well, look, I call it moleskin. I didn't know.
We call it moleskin over here. It's easier to say.
I know, right? Yeah. No, so it's
but Illo is easier to say.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I was like, please tell me you pronounce the Illo the way that it reads. It's not like, well, no, Freddie, it's Alu. Okay, so all right, so that's fantastic news, and that's fantastic that you shared it with us here. That you've got 2 versions coming out, and so just to put kind of a general tag on, are we talking 6 months from now? Are we talking definitely this year?
The big one's coming out within 2 months, I think. I think we can probably get the big one out in 2 months. We're gonna see how that one does, and then bring out the little one after.
Okay, all right. Well, fantastic. But before the end of the year, you think?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
The big
All right.
one's the XL, and the little one's gonna be the Illo Pocket.
Awesome. I love the name. Fantastic. That's great. So, okay. So, just cut to a few more things, and then we're gonna do something a little different for the last 15 minutes. We're gonna basically run through March Art Madness, the latest round. We're gonna get your thoughts on each one of the images. But before we do that, let's talk real quickly then about your plans with Illo Sketchbook. So now you've created this company. Where can people buy Illo Sketchbooks right now?
You guys can go to illosketchbook.com. You can get them there. We have a 2-pack. We have a 5-pack, which is the biggest savings. You can find them on Amazon. And the big one we might do exclusively on Amazon, just because it would be harder for us to ship these ourselves. And then the little ones they'll be on Amazon or Amazon and illosketchbook.com. I think for right now,
All right.
the plan is both.
All right, so folks, you can see here, run the Illo Sketchbook website, and you can see that you can actually go to the site, and you can see it's a really, really nice looking website. And so as
That's my
Anthony just
lovely
told,
wife right there
oh,
on the website.
okay, I was gonna ask you about like nice photography and something like that. But so you can hit the shop now button, folks, and it'll take you to the store where you can actually purchase the Illo sketchbooks. And so they're here, and you can see here they are priced fantastic. You can get, I mean, this is really, really good stuff, folks, that you can get from Illo sketchbooks. So you can purchase here, and you can also purchase on Amazon. Anthony was saying, Anthony, are you going to be doing more events? Where can people find those sketches if they want to at least check it out for themselves before they buy?
we were we were trying to hit the Motor City Comic Con, but all the vendor tables were taken, so we couldn't do that. But
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna start going to the Comic Cons and things like that that are around here for right now. Maybe we'll start traveling once we keep growing. And yeah, we'll see. We'll
Okay.
see how it goes. We'll just
Walk us through this section here. We have the section called "Show Me Your Illo," which is under featured artists. Now, these are all artists that you know. These are artists that you've met since you created the Illo. Walk us through this because there's some amazing artists here.
Yeah, so these are all these artists on here are artists that have used the Illo or have posted art their artwork on an Illo on their
Mm-hmm.
Instagram or anything like that. And
Mm-hmm.
a couple art friends of mine when I was first starting are at the bottom. There's me actually.
Yeah, I see that. So we've got Anthony Baez, Alonzo Edwards, Wesley Egbrecht at the very beginning. By the way, I think one thing people might be shocked to know, you just launched this.
Yeah, we launched in September, so
So
we're
you haven't had your year anniversary yet.
no, not yet, not yet.
So this is amazing that you've gotten some pretty big name artists here. Jake Parker, Amanda McFarlane. I mean, this is pretty, well known artists who are you. What
Yeah,
how
Mel
did they
just shared one of his he just did something on his Illo today actually and posted.
Oh
So
wow.
that was cool.
Now so
Shout
when
out to Mel.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Mel Milton, you see his image there. So when you get so like how did you come across some of these artists? When you just put it out there, you just use social media basically to get them to notice you, or what?
Yeah,
How did that
I
occur?
contacted them and they were cool. They're like, "Yeah, we want to try them." So I sent them some sketchbooks and they were nice enough to draw in them and gave me their feedback and review them for me on their website and it's been good.
That's fantastic. And so we got the Show Me Your Illo thing, and then of course here for March Art Madness, we have of course the event that we're doing. And you can see here we have a special page that Anthony set up here for Saturday AM. And just scroll through it here, you actually can come to see all the different things we have going on with Saturday AM. A little bio about us, and of course you can see here 2 of our magazine covers. And then what Anthony's doing is he's actually, and we're going to do a little bit of that today, but he's actually running through each one of our rounds. And as a sponsor, he's going to actually be sponsoring an Illo sketchbook to an artist that we think is really deserving of it. Now, this will be for some artists who did not actually make it to the following rounds. And so this first artist here, Mike, this guy's really amazing artist, folks. But he did this amazing Bakugo pick from My Hero Academia, and and he didn't win. He actually, this is the thing about our tournament, is that you go up against other people, and sometimes you go up against people who just are insanely talented or may just create something that really connects with people. But Mike is clearly a artist. This is an extraordinary picture. What did you what really spoke to you about this image, Anthony?
I just thought it was very dynamic in the pose and just like the action. You can see that he's about to mess somebody up. So I was just really drawn to it. And when I saw that he didn't win, I was like, what? So I had to pick Mike
Yeah,
for
Yep. And so we're gonna talk about, so I talked to Mike, and Mike's an amazing artist. Like I said, don't be surprised if y'all will see Mike again here soon. But yeah, I think it was a worthy choice. And we actually have his book going out to him. He's from Thailand, but he actually lives in Australia. So like I said, folks, this is a global tournament, and so we've been really excited about that. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a moment and we're gonna do something really special with Anthony. We're gonna have him basically give us his thoughts on all the round 3 artists, and we're going to try to go through those really quickly. And of course, tomorrow night, folks, we'll do the actual critique review of those illustrations tomorrow night. So make sure you tune in for that. But again, if you're visiting Saturday AM, I just want to take a moment, kind of like station break type stuff here, to tell you guys about Saturday AM. Of course, we are the world's most diverse shonen manga anthology. And you can hear all these different characters. We've been doing this since 2013, folks. I came from the video game industry, and it was important for me to create the next iteration of manga that didn't just look like manga, but actually advanced the form of manga by offering unique characters and coming from new perspectives, whether it's from Australia or Nigeria or Nicaragua and so on. And so we've created this brand, and it's become extremely popular in many countries around the world. You can get the digital magazine. It arrives bi-weekly to your email box. And as you check it out, of course, you have a chance to check out many amazing series like Clock Striker, which is the world's first Black female lead character. Apple Black, one of the biggest independent manga in the world, created by a Nigerian creator named White Manga. You can see here as well that we've got books that we've actually produced of some of our more popular series. We've got more books coming. So it's a really significant thing that we're doing here. You can see also we have at Saturday PM coming out, which is our adult version magazine. We have the second issue of that getting ready to come. So if you don't know anything about us, if you love Shonen Jump, if you love Shonen manga in general, check us out. You can go to www.saturday-am.com. Of course, this is all in service of March Art Madness. This is our event where we basically take the NCAA March Madness event, as you see in America, where all the different colleges in the country have a chance to compete against each other to determine who the #1 champion will be for that year. And it's a huge event. If you live anywhere in the country, you tend to be touched by it thanks to all the colleges we have in America. If you're watching this from another country, it'll blow your mind because it's just really nothing like it. I've traveled all around the world, from Europe and Asia and Latin America, and I've never, ever seen anything quite like this. The World Cup, maybe, but even that's a little different. But March Madness is a really big deal in America, and then March Art Madness is becoming a big deal globally, considering that we have the idea of creators being able to draw all sorts of geek culture. So whether it's Marvel superheroes or 1980s cartoons or anime TV shows or video games and what have you, it really is extraordinary the level of creativity that people are able to bring to this. And the challenges that they have, because again, this is a 5-week tournament. So if you are someone who draws really, really, really amazing women, but then the next week we give you something that's probably going to have to be a guy you're drawing, then it's going to challenge you to draw something different. If you really love Dragon Ball Z, like Anthony was saying, and we say, well, you got to draw Naruto, then you really got to challenge yourself. And so this is a really interesting tournament in that regard. And so this latest round, we had 64 people starting out. In the latest round, folks, we are now down to the final 17. That's why we call it Sweet 16 Apocalypse, because it's actually 17 people, and it is a massive scenario here. We've got some of the best artists have been left, and now we're going to be determining who the final 8 will be, and then we'll get to the final 4, and then we'll have our champions. So This is a pivotal one because we're going to be shedding away 9 people to get down to the final 8. And with that said, we're going to ask Anthony, the founder and head of Illo Sketchbooks, to give us his thoughts as to this round's art. So,
Am I
Anthony,
choosing or am I
no,
just
you're just gonna tell. Well, we'll do that at the end. And again, it's just that, you're not on the hook. You're not, your vote, fortunately or unfortunately, is not going to be the determining factor. But this will be a fun way for you to be able to kind of interact with what we got here. So we're gonna fire them up here, and Anthony, you can pull it up on your computer if you'd like, but you can also see it right here on the screen with us. Can you see this one?
I can.
All right, so this is Delvon Johnson. Now, Delvon has had a really good run so far in the tournament. He kicked off with God of War. Then he had a image with the Incredibles in round 2. Disney Incredibles that looked okay. It wasn't his best stuff, but his ability to use color is extraordinary. What did you think of this piece featuring the Kansas Jayhawk?
Definitely the color is what I see the most, and the usage of light over there, and the action pose, and the guy defending.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what mascot that is. I think that's supposed to be Clemson because I know they were playing Clemson, which they beat Clemson pretty well. But I think that's supposed to be Clemson. But yeah, I agree. It's the color pops.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think he colored this with?
Digitally, right?
I think so. I think so. I think this is digital, but it's got that kind of weird texture to it where it almost looks painted.
Yeah. He might have been using those good brushes. Those.
For real. All right. So next up is Christopher Domingo, and I actually not familiar with what country Chris was from, but he started the first round with this really exceptional Game of Thrones piece, and the perspective was shifted, so the guy was bringing the sword down. Jon Snow, Jon Snow. I don't think of his name right. So this one is a couple of characters here. I think it's Gonzaga and Clemson and Villanova and Duke, and he's got Clemson and dunking on everybody. And boy, Clemson went out like they got beat badly. So what do you think of this? What did you think of this piece?
I love it. I love the composition where the guys are coming in. Was there a topic to show someone getting dunked on, or they just happen to do the same thing?
No, there was the only thing was you had to create a piece featuring a mascot of a team that you thought would win. They get more points if they throw in other mascots, but they only get full. Yeah, but I only get 4 points. They only get the 4 points if those mascots win. So, like in this case, Clemson, he's going to get some points for some of the other guys being on here, but he's not going to get any extra points for Clemson because Clemson didn't win.
Right. Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Puts a little spanner in there. Like if you don't know sports, you're like, oh crap, I chose the team. I thought this mascot was cool.
Yeah, that Clemson Tiger is definitely sweet.
Yeah, I agree. I like the Clemson Tiger quite a bit. I don't know if the arms all look a bit off to me, and the other characters in this piece, but the Clemson Tiger piece, the one does look really good.
Mm-hmm. Are we critiquing? We're critiquing.
I just give him some thoughts. Like I said, there's no pressure. Just give him some thoughts. Like I said, we're gonna do the full critique tomorrow night, so no pressure. And you're gonna so yeah, no pressure, dude. This piece from Gary Lytle, Duke versus Kansas. Pretty kick-ass piece in terms of what Duke is doing. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think Kansas is a bigger match than Duke. What do you think?
I think Duke is pulling off a perfect split right now to perform this kick.
Are you telling me? That you don't think that he has genitals? Because that's a split that I don't know is possible.
All I'm saying is if I tried to do that, it would hurt.
If I tried to do that, I would have the look of the Kansas Jayhawk on my face as a Duke player.
Right, yeah.
What did I just do?
Mine only reached to like his ankle, the bird's ankle.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice it. But I think one way you can fix this piece is to put a speech bubble in there saying, I can no longer have kids. But yeah, but no, really good piece from Gary Lytle here. Next
Yeah.
up is Kiara Reddy. She is from South Africa. She's a Indian African one young woman of Indian descent, and so I let me just throw out there again for those folks who don't know me. I am so proud of diversity. I love seeing more people into the conversation of art. And so seeing a young woman of color, seeing a young woman of color in Africa, seeing a young Indian woman as well who produces artwork and wants to make a career of this really, really excites me. And the fact that she's mega talented is also extraordinary.
Oh, yeah.
This is more of an artistic piece here, but nonetheless, it's a pretty good piece. One thing I can't tell is I think I know, I got it. So so you got I'm not quite sure who I think that's supposed to be the lawyer in the front. I think I'm not sure, but it's an interesting group. It stands out to me because Duke's nowhere in there, and I'm like, yeah, well, that's good. What do you think of this piece?
I think she nailed the characters, man, like the faces and everything. Like I can't speak on it much on the March Madness point of view from the schools and stuff, just because I don't know the schools and their mascots as much. But as far as the artwork, she killed this one. It looks like a logo, kind of almost like you can
yeah, it does.
Like the NBA logos or the college logos, the NCAA logos.
CAA. Yeah, I didn't think of the CAA. Yeah, it's a really solid piece. It's one of those pieces too where I love her choice of background. It in terms of like fitting in, it doesn't necessarily fit in at all, but it's such a perfect choice for it because this is just an artistic piece. There's nothing here, like it's not trying to do anything in particular. It's just showing great craftsmanship, and she just put a perfect background with it. It could have been any background, but I like the background she's got here. I think
the anatomy and everything is spot on.
It is. Yeah, especially considering it was just half body. It's really good.
Yeah.
Next up is Bailey Boutel from Australia. So what do you make of this piece?
Oh, this reminds me of Space Jam, when Michael Jordan was stretching with the basketball before he dunked it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
And the monsters were grabbing him like,
I didn't think about that. Yeah. This is pretty dynamite piece.
Yeah, like the colors are a little more muted, but I kind of dig that.
Yes, it is. If you follow Bailey Boutel's work, so Kiara Reddy, since I talked with everybody before this, Gary Lytle has started his first image the first week was, if I remember correctly, it was kind of like a various characters in the manga space. Gary's got a very distinctive style, and I thought this piece is his best piece in the whole tournament for this round. Kiara Reddy's had several good pieces, but her first piece was a really subtle piece with Red Dead Revolver, which is the new sequel to the Red Dead Revolver game that Take-Two did, or Rockstar Games did. Bailey Boutel has just knocked it out of the park each week. Each week he's had a stellar piece. The first week he had Justice League versus the Avengers. Then he had the second week he had the Nintendo versus Ryu from Street Fighter. So he really has just been knocking out
in a week, man.
That's each one in a week. And here's why I remembered to talk about his background and then went back to do Gary and Kiara's, because Bailey, to your point about the color choice here, this is the first color choice that Bailey did that is completely different from his previous ones. This is muted. And this is exactly why I think this piece is so strong. His previous pieces really involve a bit of, like, his first piece was more kind of straightforward comic book. The second piece was really stylized, had kind of like some watercolor look to it. This one is far more detailed than the color, but it's muted. Like, it's not like eye-popping color; it's more muted. Really good stuff. This is a really, really strong image, and the looks of the characters as well. Considering these are all different animals, these are anthropomorphized animals. Right, is really strong. Also, I mean that damn bulldog. I mean, I don't think any of the images featuring the Georgia Bulldog looks like a bulldog quite like that. You know?
right.
I don't know who the hell that is. Who is the guy who looks like he came from Looney Tunes? I didn't even know he was a mascot.
What's his name?
What's his name? Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite Sam.
Yeah, but I don't know who that guy is. I mean, he's clearly a mascot for this round of 16, and they said I got to look that up because I don't know who he's supposed to be.
Maybe that's paying homage to Space Jam right there.
I doubt it. I doubt it. I don't think Bill's gonna take a chance with his points and say like, let's throw a Space Jam in here. No, I think it must. I'm thinking it's either Texas Tech. I think that's a T on his belt. Which again, I follow a little bit of other conferences. I mean, I'm a ACC guy where UNC and Duke and NC State is, but I don't know. I haven't looked that up though. I think that's Texas Tech though. Okay, so then next up is Charles Williams, and Charles Williams had a fantastic image the first week. It was Afro Samurai versus Samurai Champloo. Really cool perspective shot. The second week, he did a really beautiful piece as well with the Heroic Trio, which is a group from Hanna-Barbera's cartoons in the 60s. This one is, I think this is Florida State, and they're trying to outrace Purdue. So I love the concept of it. There might be some questions regarding just quite how the perspective sits, but I do love I love the idea of it very much. What do you make of this piece?
Reminds me of Tonto from the Lone Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Tonto? Is that what his name is?
I think it's Tonto. Yeah, Tonto. and the Florida State's mascot's like a Indian. So
yeah, that's cool. I like it. I like the environment and stuff, and the train is. I can't draw trains, so.
I like that. I like the train because I can't draw a train, so it's really good. The next one is Jalen Tate Lucas. Jalen Tate Lucas is another really tough person in this tournament. His first week he did a beautiful kind of artistic piece of like Infinity War with this weird Thanos and all the characters kind of hyper stylized. Second week he had another hyper stylized piece featuring Street Fighter characters of Nintendo. This piece is this strikes me. You were talking earlier about Carol Reddy's piece being kind of like a logo. This strikes me kind of like a banner that you would see like if you're walking. It strikes me like a piece of art you would see like on your way to the tournament. Like they would have like a banner hanging up. Yeah, wall mural, something like that. Yeah, because it does seem I guess what I'm trying to say, this seems more artistic.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like this isn't like a let me interpret this. This is kind of like this is artistic. Let's just put all the characters in there and so make it look really kind of cool. And I love it. Particularly the color. The color on this is really good.
Yeah, I'm trying to find all the characters because
one is Syracuse.
Bird.
Yeah, it was Syracuse Orangeman. This is like the first time we saw the Syracuse Orangeman. You got Syracuse. You got I see the Bulldog from Gonzaga. I assume one is the Wildcat. It's hard to tell in the bottom right. The two dogs, they could be anything. I mean, there's also so many dogs in this thing. I don't know what that red thing is up there in the corner. It must be a Kansas Jayhawk, I guess, but I'm not sure. So yeah, so some stuff there I can't say quite what they are, but it's interesting though.
Sorry if I'm getting all this sun in my face.
No. Sorry about that. He's got a few more, so we'll hit these few more here. What do you think of German Leon? He did a great piece his first week. He does Copic markers like nobody's business.
Nice. Oh, that's Copic, huh?
Yeah.
Another one of the words
I'm
say differently.
Another word. I love the fact that Mullis, you didn't think to like put it like it's just you're gonna pronounce it as is, and then Copic, you're like, I'm gonna add something to Copic. I'm gonna make it Copic.
I just go by what my friends say and what I heard in art school. And
you heard Copic markers in art school, really?
Copic, yep.
Whoa, yeah, I've never heard Copic.
How do you say wake 'em?
Wake 'em. that was right. That one's
right.
That was right. Yeah, wake 'em tablet. Yeah.
Because I've heard walk 'em. I've heard wake 'em.
Okay. Yeah, that's wake 'em. Yeah. So what do you think of this piece here? This is kind of like a mixture of serious or a more kind of like straightforward presentation, and then a little bit of artistic stuff going on with that pattern, which I'm not quite sure I even know what that pattern is. But what did you make of this?
They were probably trying to go for the wood flooring on the basketball court, and then the circle looks like the free throw line.
Okay, go ahead.
And I like the tongue out like Jordan.
I do like that too. I thought that's really good. That's a good level of detail there. Let's see. Next up, we have Longelini Vimba. Now he is from the UK. Actually, I'm curious to know where German's from. I need to look that up too, see where German's from. But Longelini Vimba, he's got a fantastic piece here. It's Duke Blue Devil. So I hate it, but I love his art. And he's got the orange Syracuse, who did get beat by Duke in a little ball. So yeah. So what do you make of this? This is kind of like this looks to me like kind of like a trading card.
Yeah, for sure. If you can put the hologram back there in the background in the blue.
Yep. Yeah, I love the
But
color in this. The color on this is really good, actually. I love the blue on blue on blue, and it still works.
For sure. Duke is Blue Devils or something? The
Yeah.
mascot.
Duke, yeah, Blue Devil.
Nice.
Yep. All right. So this is Rashard Milhouse. He's another really talented guy. He had the first week. He had this really cool Deadpool image with Deadpool with the lightsaber. It was really, really sharp. This is great. In fact, I mean, this is Bailey Boutel did a little bit of this, but the lighting here and how it impacts the image underneath it, I love that.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. It's a little more cartoony, which I dig a ton, and just like the proportions within the distance and foreshortening. I love that.
Yeah,
With the Duke guy hanging on for dear life.
Absolutely, yeah, I love that too. Yeah, man. Drops him off and he crashes to the earth. I love the basketball. I love too that you can look hardcore at the basketball. And you can see the pattern in there.
Yeah,
you can actually see the leather pattern of the basketball. That's really sharp. Next up is Terry Vincent Jr. He had an awesome Mr. T image that first week. I still love that Mr. T image that first week because it was so like there are so many things wrong about it, but it was still but like that's what made it so good. You know, like proportions were kind of off and stuff. He's just he's a cartoonist. He's got a style, and his style really works for him. It took me a while to figure out that that's the Duke Blue Devil up there with the horns coming out, but that's what it is. Yeah, it's kind of like an evil version of that. This is an interesting piece. I thought it was a really interesting piece. I mean, it spoke to me on a lot of levels. What did you make of this?
Yeah, it's hard to make out the characters a little bit, but I like it. I mean, who do they have as the king of everything holding the basketballs?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, so what he did here is he definitely took license with the characters. So that's the Kansas Jayhawk at the top left, Duke. I think that's meant to be that. Yeah, I think it's the Wildcat. Right, that's what I say. I think it's the Wildcat in the middle, and then the Purdue Boilermaker, which is the Hammer, and then I think it's a Texas Tech Raider guy, which we saw looking like Yosemite Sam in the other image.
Okay.
So yeah,
he took Shadow. Is that his name?
He does look like the Shadow exactly. But he took real liberty with how they presented it, and I actually kind of like that. I thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
That he was like, screw it, I'm going to present them my way, but I'm gonna give you enough there to kind of see, what these guys are supposed to look like. I artistically, I think this is a really cool piece. Next up, we have Kalani Corbett. This young lady, she's a sweetheart, a young girl from West Coast. Super, I mean, just a really, really sweet girl.
Cruelty to animals, Kalani.
I know. I was just kidding. And again, look, and here, and what we just said, right? I think again, this is that guy. This is that little guy who looked like Yosemite Sam. The last image we saw, he looked different, and now he must be presented more like this because the last two have had him clad in black clothes, kind of like Zorro or Shadow.
Yeah. That's cool.
Even though here she's got it more cartoony, but this is really, really fun. It's kind of silly and cartoony. I love it. She's got the Syracuse guy in the middle. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I love the smoke coming out of is that a gun shooting out?
Like a torpedo launcher or something like that.
Yeah, it's awesome. It like ties everything back together.
That's really yeah, it's a really solid piece. I like this a lot. I love the color too, and I think the color's pretty good at this. Then we have Amber Valdez Council. She's really talented. She had a really, really, really colorful and well-colored piece the first week featuring a lot of the Shonen Jump characters. What do you make of this?
I dig that it's like the jump ball, where they're going for the ball and trying to see who gets possession. I dig the lights in the background. It really makes the characters at the front stand out. And I like that you can peek through and see all the other characters for the extra points.
Yeah, I'm digging that as well. Like I said, I gotta look and see who the wolf is. I don't know who half these mascots are, but it's interesting. And look, Nevada. Look, if the wolf is who I think it is, I know Nevada didn't make it. I think the wolf may not have made it either, but they may have. I'm not sure. But interesting. All right. So then next we have Jiro Dejima, who I believe is from Japan. This is another stylized image, kind of being played for laughs a little bit. Sort of comedy look. It's got a potentially a very manga vibe to it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. You know, it's because I mean, like, you know, I like he's got like two characters who are kind of anthropomorphic, but then the other two characters, like, I'm not sure if they are like humans with like masks on or something. The bulldog one definitely seems that way.
Yeah, yeah, I'm trying to figure out. There's a lot going on, and I'm trying to make
Hmm.
sure I see everything.
Like I said, I don't know who the wolf. Oh, well, the wolf is the lawyer. So the wolf is the lawyer. I don't know who the who the Davy Crockett looking guy is. I don't know who that is. Then you
That's
got
the
Duke.
Yosemite Sam guy. That's the Yosemite.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, maybe so. I think the horse is meant to be Florida State, which I think Florida State's mascot's like sometimes been presented as an Indian, sometimes presented as a horse, which is weird. You got Kansas Jayhawk, and then you got again the Bulldog. I don't know. It's interesting. That's an interesting piece. I like the color work in this one also kind of grabs me because there's a lot going on with the color here. I love the multicolor nets. Like I love that.
For sure. That's my favorite kind of net to shoot at, actually.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's an interesting piece. Nicholas Gray, he's an artist who's been tremendously talented. He had I can't remember the first piece he had, but he had this piece the second week, which was Lion King with Donald Glover as the lion. Oh
Oh,
my
I
god,
saw that. Yeah, I
so
love that
good.
one.
That piece was so good, dude. So yeah, he came in with this one. This is a bit more stylized, more of a design
This is like
piece.
a poster, like hang up on the
Yeah,
wall poster.
yeah,
And
but
I
it's
love
really sharp.
he brought it to the comics too with the panels of everybody's like
Yeah,
face and ah.
it's interesting. It's totally interesting. Yeah, he's Duke beating everybody off. But yeah, it's a really interesting piece. It's interesting. So see, and I love the Japanese characters in there. I used to be able to read Japanese, but shit, I've lost those skills. So there we go. Last two, Ray Lamar, who actually battled Nicholas to a standstill. She had a Jafar piece the second week, which was extraordinary as well. That piece
Oh
was
yeah. Oh yeah, they were
super
tied, right?
detailed. Yeah, they were tied, super dope. So this is a piece as well, just showing that got major talent. I think Ray's a guy, I'm not sure, but super talented stuff here. So yeah, so this is another piece. I love the colors here in this one. I love the approach to color. This one looks like it's marker or Copic. Really, really nice use of the marker approach, if it is. What do you make of this?
And they're definitely playing with the complementary colors too, with the yellow and the
Mm-hmm.
purple and the red and green. So they definitely wanted to pop out. But it
Mm-hmm.
looks like it almost has a color pencil marker feel. Did they do this in color
It feels
pencil
like a
or marker?
marker to me. It
Yeah,
feels like
like
a
a
marker to
marker?
me because that basketball definitely looks like it's got the kind of marker strokes to it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So,
I love the ruffles on that dude's shirt in the front, like the ruffles and just the color
yeah,
for the.
yeah.
Oh my god, like that. That's really good. That's really really good. Okay, and then last but not least, we have a young man from India, Karthik Sainsate. Karthik, the first week had this, just still one of my favorite images of the tournament thus far, which was Joker and Deadpool sitting in a room watching, Superman and Hulk and all these guys battle. What do you make of this piece?
Dig it.
Yeah, me too.
I dig the light usage that
Mm.
they took the light and brought it onto the characters to like put it all together. And this guy holding the sledgehammer looking at me like he wants to.
Yeah, well, yeah, I love the way he did the eyes. I love that.
Yeah.
This is I would say out of the entire things we've looked at to today, this is the most manga image. Like that
Uh,
that 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 look on Blue Devil's the Blue Devil's face.
oh yeah,
That's pure
definitely.
manga. And
That's that
then that
sinister
look with
manga
the
smile.
yeah, and definitely the sinister look from the I think that's the Boilermaker, the Purdue Boilermaker guy with the hat and the hammer. But just the fact that he's kind of got his eyes covered, but then you got those two little white dots. Like that's a staple of manga. Like
Right.
that's a staple of manga. Like when they're encountering somebody bad, they got their eyes are just covered enough to where like these little white slits pop up. But that's really strong. This is a strong piece.
Nice.
So we saw all these images tonight. Who would you say? And again, this is there's no harm no foul. But which one is your favorite piece? Which one was your favorite piece tonight?
Let me scroll through them real quick.
Yep, scroll through one
Again,
more time.
one more time, because I there was like two or three that really caught my eye. Uh, So that one was one of them in the universe. Well, those two
Mm.
next to each other, the universe, like background galaxy,
Yep.
and the one with muted colors.
Yeah, the Bailey Boutel.
And then I kind of dig the poster one a lot with the panels showing their expressions.
Oh, the
So
Nicholas Gray. Yeah, the one with the Japanese on it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So you
though
have a four-way tie. You're saying you like Kiara Reddy. So you're saying, look, you
Kiara
like
Bailey,
Kiara Reddy, Bailey Boutel, and then Nicholas Gray,
yep. So those
and
three
then
might be.
oh, you didn't like Karthik stuff?
Which one were we at?
Karthik?
I mean, I did that one too, but those three were my
Those
those
three
three
you
were
pay?
my
Yeah,
top,
okay.
I think.
You're just pay. Okay, all right. So folks, you heard it here. Now we're gonna see if that's what pans out tomorrow night. You got Kiara Reddy, Bailey Boutel, and Nicholas Gray as being
Oh, let's throw
who?
go up real quick. Let's throw Rashard Milhouse
Oh,
in there too,
Sharp
because
Millhouse.
I
Sharp Millhouse. Yeah, I remember you were hot on this piece.
yeah, I
Yeah.
like that one a lot too.
Yeah, look, folks, this is why this tournament rocks. I'll say it again. Nobody has a tournament like Saturday M's tournament because this you don't have in most tournaments, folks. You don't have this many kick-ass artists battling it out to see who's going to advance because somebody's not. In fact, 8 people aren't, 9 people aren't. So there's a whole lot of people here on this list that aren't going to make it to the next round, and that's a lot of talent. That's a lot of talent. So,
Oh yeah.
it's gonna be interesting to do. Okay, so we're gonna go back. So again, folks, just real quickly, this is Frederick L. Jones. I am the founder publisher of Saturday AM. So this is Saturday AM right here. You definitely know us from our logo, from our characters: Apple Black, Clock Striker, Saigami, Bully Eater, Soul Beat, Better Off Ignorant, Paradise Down, Massive Multiplayer World of Ghosts, Titan King. We got it all, folks. So if you like what we're trying to do here and trying to provide more diverse creators and more diverse characters to the world of manga, then support us. Go to our website, www.saturday8-am.com, and check out our stuff. We got some free comics up there. We got a lot of items you can purchase there, but the big thing is to subscribe to our digital magazine. It's just $5. You get 20 issues for the year. So that's a lot of content, folks. Best deal in comics. Check it out. And there are other ways you can support us as well. But obviously, go to the website and check that out. Likewise, you can vote in the tournament we just talked about, March Art Madness. Who would you say are the top artists that should advance to the fourth round? Would it be Delvon Johnson, Christopher Domingo, or Bailey Boutel, Kiara Reddy, Longelini Vimba? Who are these artists? Which 8 artists you think should advance from this group? You can make your voice known by going to our website. Click at the top where it says, you can see the link right here at the very, very, very top next to our beautiful logo. Click March Madness. It'll take you to this page here. You'll be greeted with all these cool images from upcoming movies. And folks, when you click it, go there, scroll down, check out all the content that we have for round 3. You can't miss it. And once you see all the content, then you're going to click this little button here to vote for round 3. It'll take you to a new page. It'll open up right there in the site. And then you can then choose the 8 participants that you think should advance, and we'll take those votes and then put them with our official judge votes and determine who are the 8 artists who should survive to the next round. Last but not least, of course, we are so grateful to be working with companies who believe and support our mission of bringing new and diverse voices to comics and manga. And it starts with really, really fantastic artwork. You can't just do that on the back of a paper. You can't just do that on the back of a bill. Do it in a fantastic, well-designed, made-for-artist sketchbooks. You don't get much better, folks, than Illo sketchbooks. You can find them on our website. We've got a link, of course, in the ads on March Madness. But, of course, the main place to go discover them, research them, and buy them is www.illo, that's ILLO, sketchbook, not sketchbooks, but sketchbook.com. And of course, when you get there, you can hit on a variety of links here, from gallery to featured artists to our very own March Art Madness. And of course, you can get to the shop section. That's where you can purchase. Now, Anthony Baez, the founder and head of Illo Sketchbooks, has been very gracious to join us today. We're going to be cutting back to him, as you can see him there in the flesh. But now, one thing I do want to say, folks, is that when we support Anthony. Anthony's a young man. He's created this company. He's doing big things with these books. So support him. Let's make sure that we support new voices, not just artistically, but new voices who are trying to make a way for new technologies and new products that can help other people discover their own pathway. So make sure you support Anthony on that front. Anthony is also going to be providing these Illo sketchbooks to select individuals who fail to advance to the next round. So every week he will advise who his selected featured creator is from the previous round who didn't advance. And so first week was Mike Shamong. The second week you said it was going to be Eduardo Alcantara. Is that right?
Yep. I think Eduardo did a great job.
He did a fantastic job. We're going to send you will be able to see here shortly on Illo Sketch website. You'll be able to see Eduardo's artwork that he's got, and hopefully Eduardo will get a shout there from you guys as well to check out his stuff. Also, so last but not least, Anthony, or you have any questions, any comments you want to give to the folks regarding Illo sketchbooks?
No, this has been a blast, actually. I was nervous, but it's been fun.
Well, it's been a blast for us as well. Like I said, it's always awesome for us to work with partners who support what we're trying to do and are also bringing their own ideas into the mix. And so we're really excited to be partnered with Illo Sketchbooks in this regard. Anthony, it's been a pleasure. Today that you and I will probably touch base as well, because obviously, we're hoping to keep working with you. We have lots of ideas of how we can help make Illo Sketchbooks really successful. But in the short term, we're going to now get back to work trying to get issue 82 of Saturday AM out for our fans, and also get everything wrapped up here with March Madness for round 3. So again, folks, my name is Frederick Jones. I'm the founder and publisher of Saturday AM. Anthony, any final words?
And I'm Anthony from Illo Sketchbook. Make sure you check us out on our website. And wasn't there a promo code they could save 20% if
yeah, absolutely.
If they follow Saturday AM? So the promo code is Saturday AM, and you could save 20% on your Illo sketchbook.
So, folks, again, remember, look at this beautiful sketchbook. You've heard me talk about this consistently. You guys know I don't bullshit around. I can be talking about anything. I'm telling you straight up, this thing rocks. You can get this. It's already priced aggressively, okay? Already priced aggressively. $16.95. Folks, that you're not getting top-tier sketchbooks like this for $16.95. You damn sure aren't getting the Moleskine for that price. Let's be clear about this. The man just told you can save 20% off by using the discount code Saturday AM. 20% off one of these bad boys.
All caps.
It's already priced aggressively. So step in, support Anthony, support what he's trying to do, support new people into this industry. Let's bring more voices, more diverse voices to comics, manga, eventually anime and other things. And don't forget, folks, we got our video game coming out as well into this year. That's it, everybody. Again, my name is Frederick Jones. That's Anthony Baez of Illo Sketchbook. Check out his stuff. You'll continue to follow him on March Madness. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m., we're going to be doing our official show for March Art Madness, where we will review all of the events. We'll review all the characters we just talked about. Sorry, not 8 p.m. Sorry, that's wrong. 10 p.m. tomorrow night, we'll review everything, and we'll have a chance to run through, give you an official review and the official critique of each one of those series, and you'll find out each one of those artwork from round 3, and you'll find out in that show, the first time we've done this, in that show, you'll find out who advances and who doesn't. So right then and there, we will actually announce the 8 winners in that show who advance to the next round. So tune in tomorrow night, 10 p.m., www.saturday-am.com/March Madness. Support March Madness. Go vote now so you can make sure that your person gets through. And then again, Illo Sketchbooks. Check them out, folks. This is really kick-ass stuff. Thanks, Anthony, so much for taking the time out, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Frederick.
All right, guys. Take care, everybody.